I think he's being set up to fail. Okay. Here we are on national television, right? There's been 11 practices, if I remember correctly. He's been starting against he's been playing against the third unit. He's fourth on the depth chart. And then suddenly you throw him into the start lineup?
He's funny, he's optimistic, he's lighthearted, but he works hard. You know, he takes it seriously, his craft, and he's watching what the others are doing and you know, doing it his own way in which only he can.
You better get the ball out like Tom Brady. Is Shedeur Sanders being sabotaged? Now, Stephen A. Smith thinks so, and a lot of ESPN media pundits think so. I don't fully agree. Y'all know me. I am more in the middle road, but I think it's fair to open up the conversation, because the conversation I opened up about, a few days ago was that, look, Shedeur Sanders clearly is not the focus for the Browns. And also, clearly, he wasn't the plan to start this first preseason game. I think we can all say both of those things are true. So I think the reality is somewhere in the middle. Do I think the Browns want to waste a 5th-round pick just to embarrass Shedeur Sanders? No, I don't think that makes any sense. But do I think the Browns are fully focused to ensure that this quarterback battle is fair? No, I also don't think that. So I think between these two texts we're going to listen to, one with Stephen A. Smith, one with Dan Orlovsky, right? I think we're going to find the common ground between it, because we have to agree. A man who is not going to be out there with the first team, right? We all agree, but is going to go against first team defense for Carolina, and he's not going to have elite wide receivers. He's not going to have elite offensive line. He's going to have to be asked to at least play a whole half. It seems like if he balls out, the Browns luck out. But if he does bad, it gives the Browns an easy out to go ahead and cut Shedeur, cut the 5th rounder, keep Tyler Huntley, someone who already knows the offense, and we go about our day. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a dude and a guy. But let's see what Stephen A. Smith has to say about it.
But I'm going to answer this question by saying Shedeur Sanders. And I'm going to tell you why. I think he's being set up to fail. That's right, I'm going to say it. Okay. Here we are on national television, right? There's been 11 practices, if I remember correctly. He's been starting against he's been playing against the third unit. He's fourth on the depth chart. And then suddenly you throw him into the start lineup, and he hasn't had any reps with the first team at all. Think about that. So you're just gonna throw him to the wolves like that, huh? I mean, if he had first team snaps in practice, I don't say that, but he doesn't. And then all of a sudden he's starting tomorrow night. It's like you want him to fail. I'm not accusing the coaches of doing this. I'm not accusing the GM of doing this. But that owner, Mr. Haslam, that's a different animal right there. Mr. $230 million guaranteed deal to Deshaun Watson. And then he's going to come out this time around. I had nothing to do with this pick. I didn't have anything to do with it. I mean, that wasn't me. That was GM Barry right there. That wasn't me. The owner sitting up there. It wasn't me. Wasn't me. Yo. It wasn't me. That's what he was saying. And I'm saying, really? That's what we doing now?
Now, I have to push back on a few things. One, because I've been arguing with Browns fans on Twitter. I love me a good Browns fan, but they're not taking this extra media attention very, very well, right? I want to just put out the reason why you're watching this video right now is because of the bad job that Stephen A. Smith, ESPN, First Take, and all of them have done. So we need to be honest with ourselves. Let's not pretend like Stephen A. Smith is supposed to be a guy with insightful information, right? It's the common man's, someone who's just scrolling sports, who don't really watch football like you and me. They don't really keep up with football like you and me. So I'm speaking specifically to my Browns fans, the locked in. I'm always here. I've been here since Joe Thomas was the best tackle in the league. Like those level of people, right? When I'm talking to you, can y'all calm down? Because everybody's like, oh my God, everybody's saying that Shedeur Sanders getting sabotaged. Dan Orlovsky's not crying, but Dan Orlovsky's going to push back on this narrative that Shedeur Sanders is getting, sabotaged. And before we get into it, I do want to say, because finish Stephen A. Smith, a lot of things that Stephen A. Smith are saying is just wrong. He's just overblowing it. He's making it sound good for the media, for the mainstream media. Let's not expect him to have high level analysis, because even when he said something about like the whole, well, the owner said he didn't even want him. I'm so sorry, but I will have to agree with Browns fans. I don't know how Jimmy Haslam, an owner, after there was a bunch of rumors, unfounded rumors of, well, Jimmy Haslam actually made the pick. He actually made the pick. He's against his GM. Do y'all not understand that him saying, hey, I wasn't the one who made that pick. Andrew Berry, the GM, the man who's in charge of making picks, made the pick, not the owner. Just like Kevin Stefanski, the man in charge of calling plays, is going to call plays. That was not a denouncement of Shedeur Sanders. I don't know how we got to that point, but if you're a Stephen A. Smith level watcher, a First Take ESPN watcher, which most of y'all who watch YouTube videos about sports are not that, right? You're gonna just just buy it. It's easy, good narratives. It gets you clicks. It gets people upset on both sides, right? But the truth of the matter is, it's just not the way that he's laying it out. It just isn't. Jimmy Haslam was saying that to bolster his GM and say, hey, that was the GM's response. Now, do I agree with him not having first team reps? Sure, but I don't think that it's like the sky is falling. But let's see what Dan Orlovsky has to say.
Will everybody stop with the Shedeur Sanders is being set up to fail narrative? Who do you want to start the game? It's preseason week 1. First option, Joe Flacco. He's played for like 20 years. He's not going to start preseason week 1. The next 2 options would be a Kenny Pickett or a Dylan Gabriel. Both are dealing with hamstring injuries. Neither has practiced a ton recently. If they've done anything, I believe it's been 7-on-7. Who do you want to start the game?
Okay, so... And this is where I have to put on my Shedeur hat. I got to put on my fake APZ. I got to hold it in the air while I defend the Shedeur gang. Because my issue with some of the Browns fans who are saying, stop it with the narrative he's failed, or some of the people like this who are like, clearly he's not going to get prepared to fail, is that you were kind of ignoring things, right? Like just right there when he said, oh, well, Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel only got limited reps. Well, no, Dylan Gabriel was supposed to get limited reps, and then the only thing he was held out from in that practice, the last one where he said he had hamstring soreness, was the situational period. Okay? And then we get into the joint practice, and Dylan Gabriel throws more passes than Shedeur Sanders, the man that is starting on Friday. So let's be calm. Let's not say that this is some conspiracy theory, but let's also not be dumb and act like, well, where are people getting this? Y'all are crazy. If I look at it on paper, why is Kevin Stefanski saying Dylan Gabriel's hurt, but then he in fact is playing in joint practices? He's getting more throws than Shedeur Sanders in the same week that he's supposed to be starting against the first team defense. You got Tyler Huntley out there just spinning around like stomp the yard. He's just having a great time. Shout out to Snoop. But I don't even think he completed a pass. I think he was like 2 for 5. That's 5 more reps without Shedeur. So if I was somebody who wanted to be a conspiracy theorist, let's not just spit in their face and act like we're not seeing what we're seeing. Okay, we are seeing some suspicious stuff. Dan Orlovsky, if they're not going to start, why are they getting more reps than Shedeur? Answer that. It's 1 week. You can't give Shedeur a few more reps.
The next 2 options are Shedeur and Snoop Huntley. Shedeur's been there. Snoop Huntley just got there. So while Shedeur may not have had reps with the ones, what else do you want them to do in Cleveland? It's an opportunity for him. It may not be the ideal opportunity. Very rarely is it for a 5th round pick, but it's an opportunity for him to go out there and do in a game what many have reported he's done in practice. Stop with the setup to fail narrative.
And here's my issue with you, Dan, is that you see all that that anger that he has towards people assuming somebody that they think that y'all and I hate this. I hate this. Shedeur fans did not make up the narrative that Shedeur Sanders is a 1st round pick. Don't do that. Don't say, if you're going to do that, argue with the NFL people, NFL execs, NFL people who are making the mock drafts that had him at the top tier talent, that said it. Dan Orlovsky, who has said that he was a top tier talent. Let's not act like people didn't watch a top tier talent be treated like a not top tier talent. And then on top of that, when we check the quarterback tracker, Shedeur continues to ball out, and he doesn't get the first team reps that he's looking for. The only first team reps he's gotten was the second team defense against the ones. Now, fair argument, Dan Orlovsky. Look, Kevin Stefanski already said he's not starting the ones, right? So Joe Flacco's not going to be out there. Jerry Judy's not going to be out there. There's going to be a lot of starters that aren't going to be out there. So does he need reps against the ones? Maybe not. Or with the ones team? Maybe not. Okay, you can put away that narrative. But can he at least get some more reps against the one defense? Or maybe more reps against the defense that he's going to be facing because they're terrorizing the offensive line. This is Princely Uman. I can't pronounce that last name. Ole Miss rookie, right? Here's Nick Scorton absolutely demonizing, terrorizing this Browns offensive line. And we have to assume, right, Shedeur's going to be with the 2s and the 3s like he was throwing with the 2s and the 3s. Against these demons, even though I hate to compliment a Texas A&M player, and if you give an Ole Miss player too many compliments, they get a little excited. But these two players are dogs, absolute. And look, hey man, you better get the ball out like Tom Brady. He can't even get to the top of his drop. Look, he gets the ball 1-2. He's here, and that's a hold, by the way. I need that ball gone, but I mean it's a hold anyway. It's a hold. It's a face mask. It's whatever you want to call it. Okay. This one, he does get the ball out quick. 1-2. Get it out of there. And then it's a pass breakup. So, I would just appreciate, I'm not going to be some crazy person and say, oh my God, I think you're getting set up for failure. I don't think Shedeur Sanders is getting set up for failure. I do think this has to do with, hey, let's be patient with some of the players that we actually want to keep in Dillon Gabriel. I think, again, my issue with people pushing back on this is that I think that y'all think that we're stupid. I think that y'all think after Friday, oh, well, everything goes back to normal. After Friday, unless they cut Tyler Huntley, the Browns are going to have 6 quarterbacks on their roster to continue the rest of training camp. So I ask you, all the people who don't think that he's set up for fail, can you agree that this is an easy out, an easy situation to get the distraction off the team? He does bad against the ones, first time getting real ones, right? The Browns offensive line clearly can't stop a cold. They can't stop a cold in the middle of the desert. I like that one. That's a real coach saying right there. Hey, you can put that one in your pocketbook. Keep that one for later. I'm looking at it. I'm not going to be all, connect the dots or whatever. But from what I'm seeing a very easy out for a team that's already tired of the media, right? A fan base is already tired of getting asked about Shedeur Sanders. How about we throw him to the Wolves? If he doesn't look good, hey, nobody can complain. He's a 5th round pick, right? He got his chance, right? They as Browns, they can look up and just say, hey, well, I mean, we gave him the opportunity. So, but let's talk about that distraction that Shedeur Sanders is. Here's all world talent, another Texas A&M player. Can y'all stop being good at football? I'm tired of saying nice things about Texas A&M players. All right, let's wrap it up. Okay. Anyway, phenomenal all world talent at the defensive line. Y'all know who Myles Garrett is. Here's what he had to say about Mr. 12. And then Joe Flizzy, January Joe, Super Bowl champion. We're going to hear what he has to say about Shedeur Sanders. Then we're going to close out with some takes and things. And then I'm going to ask you again, comment down below. Is Shedeur being sabotaged? I'm not mad if you think it. Again, I'm not mad if you think it, dog. Let's hear what Myles Garrett.
It's funny. He's optimistic. He's lighthearted. But he works hard. He takes it seriously, his craft, and he's watching what the others are doing and doing it his own way in which only he can. So, looking forward to see him during these preseason games and how he manages the offense. But I think he looks good, but all the guys look good right now.
Hey, man, all the guys look good. As we know, there's been a lot of, if you read into the mic'd ups and then this and the other extra footage, that seemingly Myles Garrett and Shedeur have a bit of a relationship that's growing. And just like with all the young quarterbacks, I want to stress that because y'all know me. I'm not going to sit there and say that. I think there was a video where I talked about how great Shedeur's presence was in the huddle. Dillon Gabriel, I saw him doing that. I saw him getting the boys going. I saw that too. So let's not, we're not pulling people down to bring Shedeur up. I just love to see that, some of the best in the game, some of the best that can do it, recognize the hard work that he's putting in. You feel me? Here's your phone.
It'll be interesting. I think we'll all be, sitting there watching and be excited for, football to be going real time. And I think he's probably excited about that too. I mean, your first time to go in the NFL, I remember mine. I mean, I didn't get to play until the last 2 minutes of the game, but it's something that he'll remember forever. I mean, most of us have dreamt about this moment, since we were 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. So for him to get a chance to go out there and actually take the field, even though it's preseason, we're all going to be on the sidelines and at home and enjoying it. So.
Love to hear that. Love to hear the support from it. And another thing I want to point out, right? I do want to say, and there's other videos, you have him talking about how Shedeur is going to be a hostage situation. Yeah, like I do want to, as much as I give points to the conspiracy theory, I'm Mr. Fair, right? So I have to give credit to the Dan Orlovskys, the non-conspiracy theories, the Browns fans that are tired of hearing about it, right? What I say this is, one, shout out to Browns fans, because in all that stuff that I've been seeing, people continue to speak positively of Shedeur. And that is the purpose of literally of a lot of my videos, right? It's the fact that I want y'all to understand that a lot of people are not mad at Shedeur Sanders. So when I see people commenting, Shedeur is this, Shedeur is a media problem, Shedeur is going to cause all these issues, I keep telling y'all, it's not Shedeur. It's everybody's reaction to Shedeur, because from every single account, from Dan Orlovsky's, from the Stephen A. Smiths, whether you hate him, you love him, you did hate him or you did love him, it seems like every other person has gained respect for Shedeur. He's come in, answered interviews right. He's the first one to leave, last one out. He hasn't complained. He's waiting patiently. He has not talked about conspiracy theories or anything. He's just been smiling. And obviously from accounts from NFL players, happy to be there, happy to put more work in it. So shout out to Browns fans, shout out to people, but I want to stress that let's not let this leak into hating Shedeur, because I want y'all to remember that Jimmy Horn Jr. was on the Buffalo's team. I want you to remember LeJontay Wester was on the Buffalo team. I want you to remember that these people that y'all tried to hate, Travis Hunter, these phenomenal players who don't just do phenomenal football, but have shown that they can make a phenomenal impact in these communities. These great young men were hated on for years because of their association with Coach Prime, and for Shedeur's sake, because of his last name. So I want us to keep shouting the praises, like I will, of Shedeur, handling it like a professional, like he always has. And I'm tired, I will admit, of ESPN and media doing that, setting Shedeur up. They're the ones setting him up for failure. Because if he goes there and he performs bad, well, then all of the people who are waiting to hate on Shedeur get to say, well, see, and that's why he's a 5th round pick. But in the same vein, I guarantee you what's going to happen is if he do the way he do, the way that boy 12 do, and if he lights it up, oh man, y'all gonna have a long day. Y'all, hey, all the Shedeur hate, yeah, it's going to be one or the other. I just want to make sure that we can somehow find an equilibrium and say Shedeur Sanders is a phenomenal athlete, a probably better young man that has been given some certain adversities in life, but as a son of a multimillionaire, I think not only does he maybe deserve a little adversity and he can handle it. He's a big boy. Let him deal with it. Let him do it his own way. I don't think we need to defend him in that same regard. Let's also look at some of the unjust things that are being said in the ways that he is being set up, because there are some setups. But y'all let me know. Is there sabotage afoot? Do the Browns even want him? I can see that. I can see you thinking the Browns don't want him easily. I can see you seeing, like Dan Orlovsky's point, hey, this is the only real option. I just want to see Shedeur ball. And if you want to watch him ball while we watch him ball alongside the balling, see us. What is it? We're going to do it Friday. Tomorrow's Friday. That's what it is. So tomorrow, if you're watching this on Thursday, we are going to be streaming Carolina versus the Browns. I didn't know this was going to be such a big game. I would have had my jerseys ready. I was waiting to see if Shedeur got traded to get my real deal jersey, and his site sold out. So I'm going to have my Browns hat, my Carolina hat. We supporting Jimmy. We supporting Shedeur. Come to the live stream Friday. I think I'm going to try to start at 6:30. So regardless, game starts at 7. See y'all there. Don't be there when you're a square. But be great. Thank you. See you next time. Peace.